Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So a few days ago, I was telling a group of my friends that my book, Decoding Wing Chun, is the first and only book today worldwide, including China, which present the big picture and details of Chinese martial art internal training. And it is mapped into science for verifications. So, of course, there are friends who don't buy what I'm saying. And last night, he questioned me. He said, well, Henry, are you bullshitting us on what you claim on this book, Decoding Wing Chun? I told him, tomorrow I'm going to make a video to tell you and the world why what I am saying is the truth. Today, there is no book or no teacher can substitute this, including China. Okay? So, let's start. Let's get to the bottom line. What is the martial arts? What is Chinese Kung Fu? Well, it's about fighting, right? Fighting. Now, let's go with a scenario of the real life. Say today I am 25 years old, okay? Today I'm 25 years old, or anybody who is 25 years old. Today is joining an open tournament, a KO type of open tournament, MMA or Kyokushin or Thai boxing, those type of tournament. Now, so what are we going to do? As ordinary people, we don't even talk about grandmaster or the best fighter. What are we going to do facing this open tournament? Well, what I can share with you. For a typical well-trained Kung Fu fighter, this is what he will do. Went to the stadium or the tournament place about 2 hours earlier. Go down there, take a deep rest, get into deep rest to charge up the body. And then, after an hour or so, get out from that deep rest state, doing a warm-up. Start from really low intensity, moving around the body just for warm-up, and then go up to the peak intensity as high as you can, and then cool down back to ordinary life state of body. Well, it takes about, say, 30 minutes. And then to do that warm up, and then get to the high intensity, extreme intensity, and come down. And then sit there resting, waiting for the time of the fight. Okay? Now, at the fight, you get into the ring, you put your body into active mode, mid-intensity. And when that is opportunity, you charge in with high intensity. peak intensity, aim for KO. And back up again to the middle or active intensity, and then go again based on how is your opponent's condition. And then, of course, the competition ended. One will get really exhausted because you go for full force. Now, after that end, you get checked by your sifu or the doctor. Make sure there's nothing wrong with you or nothing big thing wrong with you. And then we go home. Once you go home, you get back to the deep rest stuff. The same thing, the deep rest for recovery. You need to rest. Now you're resting for the entire day. The second day, you wake up. You check the body. Oh, it feels sore here and sore there. And then now, I will go practice the fitness type of training to help me or slowly ramping up my body and helping circulation, but not high exertions training or that high intensity training, such as when I fight in the ring. Now, that is how a normal, typical, well-trained Kung Fu player must have. Okay? That is the standard, the norm. We are not talking about best fighter, grandmaster, or whatever heck. We talk about ordinary soul. Now let me ask everybody a question. Do you have all that training? As what I just described you? You go to the stadium for the open tournament about 2-3 hours before that, going through all this until the next day you wake up, oh, it's sore. I got hit yesterday in my chest. Now I have to stretch it out and I have to be helping the circulations and so forth. Practice my Qigong or whatever. Now, ordinary people, proper trained Kung Fu player, according to the ancient China, has to have that capability and have to have that type of training. So again, the question is that, do we have those kind of training? Who have this type of comprehensive of training? Or do one even know that this thing exists? With the details. Well, you look around in Chinese Kung Fu, it doesn't matter, it's called internal art or whatever. Does it tell you all about what I just tell you? The answer is no, zero. You don't hear about this kind of thing, right? But this is real life. We are not even talking about I'm the best fighter. I might get KO in the open. But that is what one needs. So how is one going to learn this? You're going to go China, they're going to teach you that today? And how can you make sure that you really get it? Well, that is the reason I write the Decoding Wing Chun. That is the reason I write in the Decoding Wing Chun. You better know all this, because this is the basic education, like the English 101. Or else it is a hopeless, it's just a delusional fantasy. Like, well, I'm doing sex, I'm doing chi and everything, and I will be able to go fight like a grandmaster and so forth. Those are delusion. Now, so in order to be able to do what I share with you just now, the full cycle, from going to the stadium, prepare for the tournament, until I come back, until the next day, you need to know all of this. You need to go through all of this, or else forget about it. So if one have no idea on this in a comprehensive way and know the details and have been trained that way, it is hopeless. Don't tell me any grandmaster name, any style name, or what is the legend. It is an open tournament. You can get KO, and you need to know what you're doing. So this is in my book, Decoding Wing Chun. This is the model there. First thing, when you go, like I'm sharing just now, when we go to the stadium in the morning, you do the deep breath. Okay? And then you do the warm up. That is belong to the nurture training, nurture chi training. And then you doing some more stretching, that is get to the fitness training. And then you go to the accelerated impulse momentum handling, and then you go to the peak full accelerated to warm up, like the 30 minutes. And then you coming back to the fitness level or the warm up or cool down level. You wait for the tournament. Once you get inside there, you are in the accelerated impulse momentum handling ready state once you're in the ring. When you have opportunity, you go in for the full accelerated, aiming for KO. And then you go back and forth. And when the entire thing ended, you go back to the warm up and cool down. You go home, you go for deep recovery. The next day you wake up, if something is sore or anything, you go for warm up and the conditioning here. Without knowing this, without going through that, what are we doing? So this friend is a Wing Chun friend. I said, does any one of your 4 sets doing that, train that way? Okay. I mean, you have to face reality, okay? Facing the world of the real fighting, not just talk, make movie, okay? It's your body. You need to be able to handle it. And just don't talk about chi this, chi that, internal. If you cannot handle this, you know it is a kiss of death. You couldn't even last a few seconds. You don't have it. You never train that way. So right now, this book actually made the thing clear out, say, hey, if you want to talk about fighting, martial arts, internal training, you better have that. And of course, with the nurture chi training, it comes with one type of breathing, which is a subtle breathing. With the fitness training, you come with a common breathing. With the martial art training, you come with the windy breathing. Those are different type of breathing as described in the Decoding Wing Chun book. Do you know what are they? Have you trained? Okay. Now, the different intensity. You try to play things slow, chi, tai chi, mind power. Are you serious? Can you handle this in the full accelerated stuff? Okay. And so, if one don't even have this kind of training, it's the basic, typical training. What do one have? Nothing. Now, Of course, in the decoding Wing Chun, now this is mapped into your heart rate, mapped into the today's sports science, the heart rate zone training. So we know that, oh, this deep rest cow training is having the resting heart rate. This is having the zone 2 training, like the aerobic endurance type of heart rate. This is extreme heart rate. So we know if we train this way or not scientifically, we know where it is. We can measure it. We can track it. Now, of course, in the deep recovery here, you are actually practicing get into the natural world or in a meditative state where you get into a deep calmness so that you be able to effectively handle your body and mind. And that's what Qigong is about. So that is belongs to here. And with that, you of course you know how your breathing is handling, because your breathing got to do with your pelvic floor muscle and your diaphragm, how they have to have handled properly. And also about your intra-abdominal pressure, because your core, you need to have a stable core. When you go high speed, high intensity exertions in fighting. And even in Qigong, over here, you need to have a proper breathing mechanics here. So you have to be able to know your breathing and intra-abdominal pressure. This is very basic. Okay? That is just this thing. Now, when you get into for the training to the strengthening training, you know that your blood flow in the strenuous exercise is going to your muscle skeletons here, the muscle skeleton. While when you at rest, the blood flow is in your brain, in your kidney, in your abdomen. So you know exactly what you are doing, how your blood circulations, your blood flow do when you are here and you are here. You know it clearly, scientific. And that's how the Chinese trained before. And in the fighting, you know that this is the out ring zone, meaning that, so dangerous zone, meaning that there's a zone between you can hit me, I can hit you. There's the fighting zone. This out ring zone is mean you move out. Well, that got to do with in the out ring zone, you are usually in this fighting level 1, which is having the heart rate zone 4, not going extreme. But when you get into this zone, this danger zone, it is in the fighting 2 level, full accelerate impulse momentum handling. Everything here is not natural at all. While here is natural, up to zone 4, it is natural. And when you go to fighting, it is no longer natural because it is performance. In the out ring zone, you can breathe according to your body. You can sprint according to your body to strengthen your body, to train your body. But in the fighting zone or the danger zone is you are thinking about scoring the opponent or you getting blow, where it is about performance. It is no longer following the rhythm of your body naturally. Well, you need to know that thing to train with it. So in the deep rest, you'll be able to drop your heart rate, drop your breathing, raise your heart rate variability. And you need to know that at how long your endurance in this is zone 5, you're full accelerated, can you go even exceed what scientific norm? Over here, the zone 5 is, it can last 6.41 minutes. And in the zone 4, which is the active ready, can last 8 minutes. So you need to know this in order to play when you are in the ring. You are not go up to the ring and right away do whatever you like and have no idea on this, exert all your force or your strength. After 6 minutes, you're gone. You're exhausted. And you want to stay using as much in the active zone, the zone 4, try to make use that 8 minutes, which you can as much as possible, and then suddenly pick up for 2 minutes, 1 minute on this. And of course, with all this training, you will know what is your VO2 max. Are you a fitness in a good level or not? So let me ask you questions. I just shared with you how the Chinese train, how Wing Chun 1850 train. In this book, with how you can check it with today's science. Let's get back to that morning we go to the stadium for that open. Only if you have all this training, you can go up there. No problem. I'm prepared. I was trained. I have the foundation training. So I go there early, 3 hours early. I sit down there. I go into the deep rest. I go into the, after the deep rest, going to the warm up, and then I'm going to cool down, and then waiting for the action come. And then I stay in the action exertions, action intensity, and I'm going to sprint out 1 or 2 minutes with the peak intensity. Going home, I'm going to take rest or recovery or deep rest. The next day, I'm going to do again. So that's how it's supposed to be. So this is your meditative state. Do you have real Qigong? If you have real Qigong, then you can get into the deep recovery. Okay, your heart rate will tell you. Your heart rate and your breathing rate and your heart rate variability will tell you. Okay. This is your aerobic tolerance. This is your strength training. If you don't have a good aerobic base training, your heart rate will fly up and down uncontrollable. So here is it can ramp up and then go to high speed and going to ramp down. That means you have a good aerobic base. Or else you are aerobic deficiency syndrome. You know, as soon as you move, this thing fly all around, okay? It means that it's very exhausting. You have lost control of your body have no stamina. And then, of course, this one is at the strengthening, zone 4, zone 5. Zone 4, zone 5. Accelerated and full accelerated handling of your body. Only that I can play in this fighting zone. So it is this simple now. It doesn't matter you go to China, go to the Shaolin temple, or go study with which grandmaster or whatever, internal, external, blah, blah, blah. If you don't have what is here and be able to verify scientifically, you know you're looking for trouble when you go facing the real, like our MMA friends, your Kyokushin friends, or Thai boxing friend who train scientifically, or BJJ friend who train scientifically, or the Olympic player. Okay? So, as what I share with you here, this is based on the training of Wing Chun 1850. Chinese Kung Fu is no bullshit. It's real. It can be analyzed and detect and monitor today and track today with the science, medical science, sports science, or else I cannot do this, okay, with all this real data. The only problem is if we have no idea what is this, and everybody is grandmaster, best fighter, the king of Wing Chun, internal mind power, blah, blah, blah. Now you got a serious problem. Those are not Chinese martial arts. You look at today, it's like most people will say, oh, my grandmaster, he's the king of Wing Chun, or he's the king of this Tai Chi or whatever, invincible player. And then, but you don't see their student do even close in the level of today's MMA player or Thai boxer player or Kyokushin player level in the standard. Typical. Don't even talk about the real fighter. Okay? So I just prove to you, present to you, why is this book is the only one which is telling the truth on what is the content of Chinese martial arts and be able to back by science and everybody be able to get it. So do you want to follow a code? The code is always the grandmaster is the invincible, the ultimate. Everybody said, I have to practice this set like this grandmaster teach. Who cares? Those are code. In the real world, you see the MMA, the Kyokushin, the BJJ, the judo, the jiu-jitsu in the Olympic, the Western boxing, nobody say that. People say you have to be able to prove with science. And you can see that every generations, the player getting better and better, better, better. But the Chinese code, which is not Kung Fu, is always, you have this grandmaster 100 years ago, which is ultimate. But nobody know what the heck he's teaching. Did they even know how to breathe? Like just now I said that there are three types of breathing. The subtle, the common, the wind breathing, like in the book. Do you know what it is? Can you handle that? So this is what I like to share with everybody. You know, I'm not being egoistic here. I just present what is the truth. Hey man, it is a war. You better know what your opponent have. You better know what you have. Instead of keeping every day, oh, my grandmaster, I am this, I am this. I go to the Shaolin in China to train this, the Qi power. Well, really, why don't you get into the MMA match or Kyokushin match open and see how do you perform? Or Thai boxing match. For past 100 years, how is Chinese Kung Fu when they go to Thailand? How does it perform? How is all this internal thing performed? So, I wrote this book, not that I want to promote fighting. I just want people to know what is the reality. I am 60 something now, retired. 65 now, retired. I got diabetic type 1. Am I going to do the strengthening or martial art training? Of course not. My body cannot take it. There's a lot of people, young people today, who do not have the body to train it in that training. I just remember, I just now I share with you that at that danger zone is its performance. It is not your body anymore. People can get severely damaging their body if they don't have the base, like the aerobic base to support that training. And if the body is not healthy, you cannot touch it. We need to know that. So we need an education. This is 2023. This is no longer 100 years ago when everybody in village can bullshit around everybody in China and everything. Okay? You are facing the world now, in the real world. We better know that, oh, my body is not good for that training, so I don't want to do that. What's the point to school yourself? King of Wing Chun, best fighter, the best grandmaster. You look around, you don't see that. So what is the most important is education. The book is for education, to tell everybody who study Wing Chun or Kung Fu what you are facing and what you need if you want to get up to the open tournament. So this is what I like to share with you. It is a very serious stuff. If one really loves Wing Chun or Chinese Kung Fu, one need to be responsible. You're not going to mislead the young people or the older people, the senior in your school. Because today have high medical costs. Okay? So this is, as I told my friends, I'm making this video. Talk straight today. Come on, let's open everything under the sun. Not you, grandmaster, my lineage. What good is that to spend 100 years on those nonsense and at the end, you have no idea what you actually facing.